All right, let's take a look at mechanical drawings. These are sometimes called engineered drawings because it's usually engineers, structural engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers that end up making these sets of plans, the parts of the plan. This first slide I have here has to do with an electrical plan. And you notice it has a large title block on one side, and all officially printed plans will have that. But all of these mechanical drawings have some kind of overlay of the floor plan. This is electrical, so this is a symbol for a wire, and this here in the middle is a light in the middle of the room. This particular plan also happens to have a schedule and a set of specifications already on it. They're not on a separate sheet. Here's something a little easier to see. So you could tell all the rooms: living room, garage, kitchen, bedroom 1, master. When you walk in, the door swings open, and you've got 3 switches. One is a switch leg that's running down to the receptacles. Then you've got a switch that's going to run the light, and this switch F will run the actual fan. When you come into the bath, there's a GFCI receptacle and a switch for a light. And you can kind of follow the path of the wire, and you can see these are 3-way switches. Anytime you have multiple entryways into a long space or a large space, you've got a switch on one end, switch on another with a light between them. It does that here. It does it in the kitchen, and it does it here in the living room, in the main areas. We have multiple entrances. And this is just a general drawing of an electrical plan. Next, we're going to talk about heating and air. It's all known as HVAC, heating, vacuum, and air conditioning. This is, again, looks like a small 2-bedroom apartment, a 3-bedroom upstairs apartment, because here's a set of stairs. I orient myself to the type of the room. And then I look, and this purple here, this is the main ductwork that's going to distribute the air throughout the building. These squares with the X in them, those are the air registers. That's a symbol for an air register. And if you look up in the ceiling of your house and against the ceiling, you'll see a spot where the air comes out, and that's the symbol for the register there. And you can see this is the main trunk line. And this end here is blowing down into an engineering section as it comes up. This is all space for running pipes and wires. And then it runs to each room. And you notice it's here located near the windows, plus one here, the door, because there's not one in the bathroom and closet. That's a heating, ventilation, vacuum, and air conditioning. On to another set of plans. And I know this is plumbing, but first I can look here at the title block, and it has a P 2.1. This is plumbing sheet number 2.1. And you look at this one, it's not quite as easy to see, but you can see the purple lines. That's your main supply lines. And then you start seeing notes and parts for fixtures. This one, too, also already has the specifications already on the sheet. Now, plumbing is going to show you where the pipes, the drain, the waste, and the vent lines go, and where your appliances hook up. And again, it starts with the main floor plan. Here's a little variation on a theme, though. This is called a riser diagram, and it's actually drawn out in 3D. And usually it's just the pipes and has symbols for the pipes. This is the drain line. It vents out through the roof, goes all the way down through the ground and out to the sewage. The blue are cold water lines. The red are hot water lines. And you can see this drain comes up and turns and sweeps into the bottom of the toilet. It's a bigger drain. I watch this smaller drain all the way over. I've got a leg that comes up and catches into the bottom of the sink. And then I've got one that catches into this tub. Over here to the kitchen sink, and another sink down here in the utility area. This is called a riser diagram. One more set of plans that you will see really common, especially in commercial buildings, is the fire suppression plan, also sometimes known as the fire sprinklers. You see these red lines and then the black dots. The black dots are the fire sprinkler heads that you see in the ceiling. If you look up in the class, you'll see that. And a lot of times these are drawn in green is the way I mostly see them. And it gives you general distance. Again, it's overlaid of a floor plan, and it gives you some differences and distances. And in this one, you'd have to refer back to specs to see exactly what type of fire head, what size of pipe you're using, things like that. Now, in the fire suppression, this is for there particularly, but you'll see a detailed drawing. Now, you see these in plumbings too. You see this in carpentry, you see in all of them, where it blows up a little section to give you some more detail on how something's put together. And you start here with the riser diagram going straight up. And this is a straight riser, a check valve riser, an alarm riser. And here, the only difference is right here above this valve number 1, this little section right here changes. So depending on the plan, what room you're in and what part of a building you're in is which one you want to put, because it would have different ones in different places. You could come to it, look, and number 1 attaches to number 7, attaches to number 9, attaches to number 6. And it just gives you a general way of how these things are put together and what the differences are. And there's a little bleed off valve here in the alarm one that the other two don't have. Now, also in plumbing, you see this a lot in plumbing. This is called a exploded drawing. It actually takes a fixture or a piece of one and breaks it out in individual pieces and shows you the order of assembly, sometimes called an assembly drawing. So this is actually a drain on the tub. If you have a tub at your house, what you can't see in the wall, you can see this piece, which is a little control valve, and you can see the little strainer basket in this piece. But all the rest of this is behind the wall of the tub. And it shows you, it's got a line here. It shows you all this part lines up center to the other. This one shows you these two screws and how they pass through, go on the outside of here, and how they screw into that part of the fixture. This is called an exploded drawing, so that you know how to put something together in detail. And that's a little brief coverage of mechanical drawings, things that engineers draw. They're toward the end of a set of plans, but they always have a floor plan with it, so you can kind of orient yourself to the building. But for the plumbers, the heat and air guys, the fire suppression, and the electricians, these are the plans that they use.